So in acting, you want to be able to create imaginary relationships. You're going to have scripts that they give you in the auditions, of course, and they are going to have relationships in them. And relationships are very, very, very tricky, but very, very easy to be able to achieve if you're organized and you know what to do. And I suggest that for building relationships, you want to be able to have the top 5 or 10 relationships ready for you to be able to know what those are. And you want to be able to have those relationships so that you have those very, very deep inside of you. Now, here's an example. Um, you get an audition, you get a script. A lot of times you'll be reading for different parts. You'll show up at an audition and you'll have one part already cast. That happens, and you'll be given a different role. You might have already prepared for the one side, for the audition side, and then yet you've been given another option. And it might have a completely different relationship in it. So this is what I'm saying is you want to be able to get 5 or 6 major relationships, and you want to be able to really do at least 5 or 6, and you work on making sure that you have a brother sister relationship, an aunt uncle relationship, a mother father relationship, a step mother father relationship. I'm going to make a list of about 5 of them. Think of the top ones that they're going to be going out to audition for, or you're going to be able to work with. And you want to know, not it's not your personal relationships. You want to develop your imagination within those relationships, and then you can have that as a building block. This is an essential basic building block for you to be able to use in your audition. For instance, you might have on the more advanced level, you might have done imagination work to be able to identify and work where if somebody says that you have this type of father, that type of father, that next type of father, that you're able to actually imagine yourself really having that kind of relationship with your father, and that would be one of the element. Now, you're not doing this with your real life with your own father. You're doing this as acting, or you're doing this with your mother. Now, that would be the more advanced where you basically build these things up over and over as you're doing acting. But a lot of times people don't know to do this as an actual technique. So let's recap. We're going to go through and make sure that your acting is going to be able to develop what's called imaginary relationships. The imaginary relationships are going to be completely fictitious. They're going to be stuff that you literally can go and sit down. You work on acting exercises. Uh, for instance, you know you've really achieved an imaginary relationship when you can sit down, write a letter to them, and you have full concentration. Everything's there, and you basically build a pen pal relationship with your imaginary um, uh, brother, sister, father, mother, etc., etc. This is exactly how to be able to deepen the reality within your acting. So we all know that acting's the reality of doing. We all know that the essence of having a relationship is exploring the dynamic. So what you're doing is you're putting yourself into the imaginary circumstances, or the imaginary, the given circumstances, of which you're able to then immerse yourself deeply enough where you start building up the relationship within you, where you have this imaginary element happening. And what will happen is that you'll have something and you'll be sparking um, emotions based off of that basic element. Now, you don't have to be complicated when you're working on this. You could start with writing out an apology letter, or you could write out there's a list of letters. I'll have a bigger list. I'm going to work on that. So there's a bigger list of letters to be able to write. The letters to be able to write, to be able to develop belief structures. See, we are working with our imaginations. We are working with our creativity. We are working with our ingenuity to be able to access our emotional depths. So we have a relationship with stepbrother, or let's just say stepbrother, and there's elements of a stepbrother that would be different than, say, a brother. And so we explore that and we make sure that we build up our imagination to be able to withhold that. So we literally then, when we're given the script of the audition, we're given a script and we say, oh, by the way, there's a stepbrother. You're like, perfect, great. You've already done the work to know the basics of stepbrothers. You know exactly what the basics of relationships are. You know exactly what that does to you. You know that you've done some work on that. You know that you've written some letters to your imaginary stepbrother. You're expanding your talent from being able to, oh gosh, I mean, it will activate all kinds of things. You write an apology letter, you write to your stepbrother. You sit down and you write a congratulations letter because they got a job. And that would be an exercise that you sit and do. It takes about probably a half an hour. And maybe give or take, and you sit down and you write a congratulations letter to your imaginary um, adopted brother or your stepbrother. And this is what's going to build your beliefs cycles. And you're going to see that every single time you go in, you build the next letter, you build the next letter. I'm going to develop something that's going to be a lot easier for you guys to be able to follow, where it comes down to um, what processes you have to, and you could use to be able to build beliefs. But it will be a series of letters, of which the letters will be able to help you explore and spend time in the mindset and the emotional realms of what it's like to be able to have that relationship. So you are literally delving into your ability to be able to mine or find or discover what all of those emotions and feelings would be based off of that relationship. So please let me know in uh, in the comments or sections. Just let me know what kind of relationships you struggle with to be able to build belief upon, and also if you know it, or what interested relationships you are. It could be family relationships, it could be boss relationships. Also, I have relationship books that have copious writings about different types of relationships that you can also include and use in your acting exercises. But not only acting exercises, you want to be able to do this for acting films. And the acting films are going to be what is going to set you apart, because you want to work to be able to do improvisations with these relationships, and that's going to make a big difference to your acting, your belief cycle, and everything's going to be deeper when you do that kind of work. So spend about half an hour, develop a relationship, write a congratulations letter or to your imaginary relationship, and then start to build out the relationship. Um, Build up all of the feelings and the tingulations and the emotions that are involved with having a relationship like that. And that will actually really, really, really deepen and expand your talent and your acting. Thanks.